Decimals is quite easy if you simply remember that you have to line up the dots. So what I mean by that, let's say you have a problem 2.4 plus 3.87. If I have that problem, all I need to know is I need to line up the dots. So I have 2.4, and here is the dot, so I'm going to line up the dot. Do you see that? I will line up the dot. Now 3 is on the left side, so I'll put that there. 8 and 7 are over here. Everything is neat and in its own column. That's what you have to remember. I have to add them. So here we go. I have nothing up there. If I have nothing plus 7, my answer is 7. 4 plus 8 is 12. So I put the 2 down here. I carry my 1. The next step is that decimal. Don't forget that decimal. I lined it up. My answer must have a decimal as well. So now I have 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is equal to 6. Voila. My answer is 6.27. This works with subtraction as well. So let's say we have 15.8, take away 3.45. We read this from left to right, just like we read a book. So everything on your left is what you have so far, and then this is what I have, and this is what is being taken away. So line up the dots. I have 15.8. Take away 3 point. So the point is here. I'm lining it up. The point. 3 is here. You have to be careful. It's the first number behind the dot, so it needs to be the first number behind the dot. It cannot be here. We are not in the tens column. We are in the ones column. This is 3 point, so it must go here. So 3.45. All right. I have nothing, and I need to take away 5. I can't do that. If there's nothing in that space, you can always plug it in. The number for nothing is 0. So I'm plugging in 0. Well, if I have nothing, I can't take away 5. No one can come and take away 5 from me if I have nothing. So what I need to do is borrow from my neighbor. Hello, neighbor, can I borrow a number from you? And your neighbor will kindly give you 1. All right? So when your neighbor gives you 1, now you have 1 0, which is 10. That neighbor, since they gave you 1, they lose 1. So 8 becomes 7. All right, for me, I have 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. 7 take away 4 is 3. Again, you have to put your dot there because I lined them up. Now I have 5 take away 3, which is 2, and 1 take away nothing, which I told you could put a 0 if you want. So 1 take away nothing is 1. So my final answer is 12.35. Now sometimes you'll encounter whole numbers and decimals when you subtract, and that's fine as well. Let's say we have 18.5 plus $5, okay? This number, very obvious, doesn't have a decimal, but let's go ahead and write it out first. So I have 18.5 plus, well, where does this 5 go? I know 5 is a whole number. You can also imagine this as 5.0. Now, why can I imagine that as 5.0? Let's think of money. When you think of money, if I just write this, you know that is $5. What if I wrote 5.00? Is it the same thing? Yes, it is. It's still $5. So if you have a whole number, all you have to do is add the decimal at the end and add the zeros to help you line up the dots. So in this case, I added the dot and the 0, so I can line up the dot right now. The dot goes here, 5 goes here, and the 0 that I put. Again, this works for any whole numbers. If it's 23, you could put 23.00. 00, as many zeros as you want, because 0 means nothing. All right? If I have 128, that is the same as 128.0, because it's the same amount of money. It's there's no number. You're telling me there's no numbers. So why would I put it? Because I need to know which how to line it up when I add it. So I have 5 plus 0, which is 5. 8 plus 5, which is 13. So 3 is here. I carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So my final answer is, ooh, I forgot my dot. Don't forget your dot. Lining up the dots. It's 23.5. The same thing works with subtraction, although you have to be very careful because when you subtract, the first number is what you have. So that number goes on top. And the second number, which you subtract from, is the denominator. So let's go with something like this. 25 take away 1.96. 25 is a whole number. Again, you can put a dot and a 0, means the same thing. So now I have 25.0. And that is my first number. That's why I wrote it first. And underneath, I need to subtract this. So my decimal goes here. Line it up. 1 is this side. 9 and 6 are here. Now, there's no number up here, but again, remember, anytime there's no number, you can add a 0. So I can simply add a 0 there. All right, now I can do my work. I have nothing. And someone's coming to take away 6 from me. I can't do that. Now, earlier I said you borrow from your neighbor, but my neighbor also had 0. So my neighbor needs to go to his neighbor and borrow from him. Hey, neighbor, can I borrow a number? Neighbor has a number to give, so he's going to give him 1. Now, this is 10. That didn't help me at all. I still need to borrow from my neighbor. So this 10 turns to 9, and I get 1. So now I have 10 take away 6, which is 4. 9 take away 9, which is 0. You have nothing left. The dot goes here. 4 take away 1 is 3. 2 take away nothing. And again, I can put 0 because the number for 0 or for nothing is 0. So 2 take away 0 is 2. So my final answer is 23.04.